Thank you very much, and thank you to our witnesses for being here. Look, we've heard some pretty good expressions and terms: unique position, leadership in NATO, importance of supply chains, concrete steps, addressing vulnerabilities. A lot of these statements, from what I'm hearing, are forward-looking plans or intentions of what we're going to do, and I'd like to look at some of the things that we've actually done up right now. So currently, what do we have for stockpiles of these critical minerals? We've heard other people's testimony, but I'd just like to clarify that.
Thank you very much, Chair, for the question. So I would say that last October, under the Defense Production Act, we were able to identify and list under the GIC the critical minerals that we're going to stockpile. Next steps, following that, we immediately executed 2 offtake agreements, to which I mentioned during my opening remarks. One is graphite, another one is scandium.
Do we have any stockpiles of any of these things? I'm not talking about intentions. Do we have anything right now?
Those are actually live agreements that we're finalizing to actually be able to stockpile.
Then. So we have a stockpile of paper.
They're actually off-takes that we have, term sheets that we have already signed.
So we have term sheets and agreements, but no actual stockpiles. If we did have stockpiles, what would you think would be a reasonable amount for Canada? Is there a way to measure it? Like, do we want 300 pounds of something or a 5-year supply? Or what would you consider an appropriate amount that we should be in terms of a strategic importance?
I think it's based on my opening remarks. Different critical minerals have different markets and different usage. So the aluminum, where we're talking about million tons, and then versus scandium, we're just talking about, double-digit tons, 80 tons that we're looking at. So I would say it depends on, number one, which part of the value chain, for instance, our domestic needs would be. Secondly is looking at the global demand, especially in the advanced supply chain. And then thirdly is looking at our capabilities in terms of what we're able to produce.
Okay, thank you. So it sounds like we need a plan to define the different, a very complicated plan, obviously, to define all the different stockpiles. Look, also looking at our track record, I'd like to speak about antimony. You mentioned that as one of the NATO critical minerals, and it's used for fire retardant material and other defense applications. China produces 110,000 tons per year. How much does Canada produce of antimony?
I'm happy to share the exact figure in writing to the committee.
Okay, thank you. My understanding is 0, but thank you for sharing 0 with the committee. We look forward to that. Do we have deposits in Canada of antimony?
So as I
just yes or no. Do we have deposits here?
Yes, we do.
We do. Terrific. Thank you. And do we have a mine for antimony in Canada?
We have the potential of mining projects that could be developed, but more importantly, antimony is actually a byproduct of zinc processing, so it can be also produced that way.
We do have a mine, in fact, at Beaverbrook in Newfoundland. Is that correct?
It is not currently in production right now.
That was my next question. So, yeah, could you know who this? So it has been producing antimony. It's no longer producing. It's been shuttered. Can you tell me who owns that mine?
I'm happy to submit that to the committee.
Okay. Well, I'll share with you that it's China Minmetal Company, which is a state-owned, Chinese state-owned company, and they've decided to shutter it, and now we don't produce this. So it sounds to me, maybe you could help share, how do we protect Canadian resources that are being controlled and leveraged against us, and we're saying, hey, we want to leverage these critical minerals. We have this critical mineral, we don't produce any, and we've let a foreign state company shutter our operations. What steps has the government, obviously hasn't taken any so far, and this is a bit embarrassing, but what steps are we going to take going forward to protect, and I'm just using this as one example of a critical minerals because it sounds like a complete failure to me. What are we going to do? How are we going to fix it?
Thank you very much, Chair, for the question. I would say that there's a number of ways in which the government takes action. So number one would be under the Investment Canada Act, which is under the Minister of Industry. Number two is we are also working with our provincial and territorial colleagues as well. One of the initiatives underway is to look at the various jurisdictions in terms of their Minerals Act to modernize and to update, for instance, the mineral claims regime to ensure that the interest, domestic interests or sovereign interests